Damn. Hello, Facebook friends and family. How are you guys doing today? I hope that everyone is doing wonderful and swell per usual on this good Wednesday morning. It is October the 1st, so happy October, and we pushing out positive vibes for the month of October and the rest of 2025. It's October the 1st, 2025, and it is currently 9:09 here in Detroit, Michigan. I'm in the bathroom getting myself together, but I haven't washed my face or brushed my teeth yet. I want to get this message out real quick. Plus, I had to find me some toothpaste because we need to go get some more toothpaste. So, had to get one of the emergency travel tubes. But anyway, I woke up hearing, if you like a thing, you should have put a ring on it. Well, if you like the thing, you should have put a ring on it. So I woke up hearing that, and now my ear is itching. And I'm hearing like somebody is about to lose out on a very good woman. And it's because you won't make the move. And you won't make the move because you're afraid of what people would think or what people would say. And you're afraid to make the move with this person because of what you thought and what you said about this person before you even got to know them. And then it's like maybe you talked about this person, you liked them, but you didn't give them a chance for real. So you kind of used them for like maybe just sex or something. So I'm getting that. Well, if you like the thing, you should have put a ring on it. Don't be mad when you see that he want it. Because if you like the thing, you should have put a ring on it. So don't be mad when you see that he want it. Because if you like the thing, you should have put a ring on it. Like you like this woman. You loved her actually. But you would never tell her that you loved her. You would never show her. Other than through sex. And that's not enough. You wouldn't show her. You wouldn't express your feelings. So she began to feel like you didn't love her. And she began to date other men. And now there's other men that's in this woman's energy. And now you're starting to feel some type of way. But she can't sit back and wait for you when she's waiting on nothing. Because you could have been made a move towards her. Whether you had everything, all your ducks in a row or not. Because what you have to know is when two people are great together, even if they come together when shit is fucked up, they're still going to build something beautiful. And that brings me to the next thing that I was about to talk about. Thank you, God. Last night before I had went to sleep, I decided to watch a movie. And I ended up watching Ruth and Boaz on Netflix, it was kind of supposed to be like the story of Ruth and Boaz in the Bible, which is a love story, but they did it. They put Tyler Perry and then put a spin on it, so that was kind of cool or whatever. Hold on. Fuck. Tyler Perry and then put a spin on it, and that was cool. And in the movie, Ruth was in love. Or she really liked a man, and this guy, he really liked her. And he liked her so much that he wanted to introduce her to his mother. And when he introduced her to his mother and father, his father was very accepting of Ruth. However, his mother didn't like her. And she just was saying little things like, why do he got to marry somebody like her? And in the movie, Ruth was an R&B singer. So, she kind of dressed a little bit sexy or provocative, but it was just for her performance. She was a really wholesome woman if you had got to know her. But from the outside looking in, she just was a seductive singer or whatever. Kind of like Beyonce on Fighting Temptations. So Ruth, she was a singer or whatever, but she had a very beautiful heart. She was a real wholesome woman. And she was really into the man that she was dating. But his mother just did not want to accept her. He can do better than her. I just don't see what he sees in her. So anyway, as the movie goes on a little bit, the guy, his mom, she gets a phone call that her son and her husband have been killed in car accident, a carjacking actually. and they were killed in a carjack. I don't want to spoil the movie, so I'm trying to figure out how to tell the story for the people who haven't seen it. But her husband and her son ends up getting killed in a carjacking or whatever. And Ruth happens to go and check on her. She wants to go and make sure that her boyfriend's mom, who couldn't stand her, is doing okay. And then she later finds out that she's broke. Even though she lives a lavish lifestyle, she didn't know that her husband had signed over a couple of things and took it out of her name, leaving her only one house in Tennessee, the house that they originally started off with. So once her husband and son was killed, she had nothing, not even $1 to her name. And I can relate to that too. So she had to move to Tennessee. So she went from living in a big ass mansion with multiple cars and butlers and shit to an old raggedy house that she used to live in Tennessee. Right? Ruth, her son's girlfriend that she didn't like, went to Tennessee with her. She got on a Greyhound or whatever kind of bus it was, and she sat down to her. She said, I'm not going to let you leave and go by yourself. You don't have nobody to take care of you. Both of your sons are deceased, and your husband died, and you just buried them, and you don't even have $1 to your name, and you owed. I am coming with you. I'm not letting you go by yourself. I'm not letting you sink into depression. I'm not letting you die alone. So she was like, girl, you're not coming with me. Like, what part of I don't like you basically don't you understand? And the girl was like, okay, whatever. I'm going wherever the bus takes us. And she went to Tennessee with this woman who couldn't stand her. And they actually lived together. And she was like, I'm going to go out and find a job. Basically so I can help take care of you as well as myself. And she did that. And when she found the job, she ended up meeting a man or whatever. And in this movie, she was having her own problems. Because she was an R&B singer, a lot of people wanted her. And she had this one man who had invested in her and her best friend in their singing group or whatever. But Ruth, she decided she didn't want to be a singer anymore. She wanted to live her life a different way. She didn't want to go into a contract. They wanted her to sign a contract with Jermaine Dupri in the movie. And she was like, she don't want to sign a contract. She was like, well, if I sign this contract, I'll never have freedom over my life again. I'll be forced to sing and perform 24/7, and that's not how I see myself living my life. So granted, this contract is 8 figures, and it's going to change our lives financially. It's going to change my life as well as take away my freedom. So she said no. And she left and went to Tennessee. However, the man who invested in her, he wasn't okay with that. He was the one who was behind killing somebody else. And when she moved to Tennessee and she started dating a new guy, she was scared to date him because she knew that this R&B producer was looking for her and that he was willing to kill her if she didn't come back to sing for him. So granted, she was falling in love with someone else with the approval of her ex-boyfriend's mom. She was scared to move on with her life because she didn't want him to get hurt. But because she was a great singer and people started finding out and she ended up performing, a video had went viral on YouTube. So the producer found her and knew where to locate her. And he came back and he fucked with Boaz too. And he burnt up the whole winery and everything like that. So it was like a curse put on her life. She felt like I can't never love anybody because any man that comes into my life, this man who wants me to work for him kills them. You see how the Illuminati work, how the devil work, and how niggas will be and people who want to have control over your life, they will fuck up anybody else who has a good heart that comes into your life. And that's what I be trying to tell the people who date me. Like, you have to be a strong man to date me. And you have to be smart, observant. You got to get past the bullshit, the lies, and the people who want to control my finances and my life and everything that I do. So she ends up trying to run away. Like, I got to go back. I'm just about to sing for him because if I don't sing for him, he's going to kill everybody else that I love. And I don't even got nobody left. And so she was about to get ready to go. And Boaz was like, no. And so was her ex-boyfriend's mom. She was the one who actually was like, I'll kill you. Like, you killed my husband. You killed my son. I will not let you kill my daughter. And that's when the story changed. It's like Boaz was a strong enough man to want to protect Ruth. And the mother was a strong enough woman to realize, like, this is not your fault. Don't carry that in your heart. You are supposed to be loved. You're not supposed to be lonely and by yourself and never finding love just because other people want to control you. That's not how it is. Hello. Thank you. That's not how the world goes. She said you cannot live your life like that. And that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes, as men, like, for one, you're supposed to be protecting women. That's why I can't stand bitch ass niggas that want to be bitches and shit. You're supposed to be protecting women and things like that. But you have to know a woman. Like, if you love a woman, you're going to know a woman. Sometimes people, they keep things bottled up because they feel like they're protecting somebody else. But if she had just told Boaz and told her ex-boyfriend's mom what was really going on, she could have kind of prevented some of the things that she was going through, especially living in fear. Which is another reason that I tell my story anytime I feel like it. Because when you keep certain things bottled in, or when you walk and live in fear, thinking like, oh, they gonna kill everybody I love, or if I say this, or if I do this, I gotta go into hiding, I gotta shut up. No. And never let nobody let you think that you're not supposed to be loved. Because God is love. He wants all of us to be loved in some way, shape, or form. So how could anybody else go around thinking that they can control your life by bullying any man that comes into your life? It reminds me of another biblical story that I had watched on YouTube about Tobith and Tobias or whatever, and how Tobias was supposed to go out and marry one of his cousins, and he had to break the curse over his cousin. So in the Bible story that I was searching and reading up on YouTube, Tobith, he was a very rich man or whatever, and he had ended up losing his sight. It's making me think about my old client Odessa. Anyway, he ended up losing his sight, and in order for his eyes to be him to get his sight back, it was something like he had to get some fish guts or something. I can't remember it, but I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna reshare it. So Tobias had to go and get the things that he needed to heal his father. And he was sent on a mission to go across the land or whatever, as well as to marry his cousin. He was supposed to marry his cousin. And they were supposed to share the generational wealth and start their generation over again. But in order to get to his cousin, he had to basically break the curse off of her. And the curse was that she was connected to a demon who would kill every man that ever fell in love with her. And the reason that the demon would kill every man that fell in love with her is because he wanted to control her. She was gifted. And the demon wanted her. And he knew that once she fell in love with a man and a man married her, that he would no longer be able to control her, to keep her held in bondage. So Archangel Gabriel or Raphael, one of the two, came and told Tobias what to do for his dad, Tobith, as well as what to do for his cousin. Like, this is how you're going to heal your father. This is how you're going to set your cousin free and break the generational curse, as well as receive your wealth, receive everything you need, and basically start your family over and live happy. This is what you need to do. So their history repeats itself. These stories, these movies, they're not put out for no reason. And both in the movie Ruth and Boaz, that's on Netflix, and the story of Tobith from the Bible and Tobias and all of that, the woman is cursed. As speaking of Shrek and Fiona, because me and my kids was just watching the Shreks. Shrek and Fiona was cursed. They didn't want her to fall in love because they knew that when she fell in love, that her and Shrek will own far, far away. They will be royalty and start their family over again. Same thing with Ruth and Boaz. Same thing with Tobit and his cousin. Tobias and his cousin or whatever. So they're making the movies and they're telling the story in many ways. We need men to be strong for us. That's why I don't ever say like I don't ever need a nigga for a goddamn thing and really mean it like that. Because we need men to be strong for us. Granted, we are strong women. But in the 3 stories that I'm talking about, the ladies were cursed. The ladies were cursed. And they were held hostage by demons. Because they were gifted and they were talented. And they had lineage and royal blood and money left to them. Somebody is losing the woman that they're supposed to marry, that they're in love with, because they're too weak to protect her, too weak to admit their feelings, and scared to move on with life, and you holding yourself back. So now, when you fail your mission, or when you don't complete and understand the assignment, then God has to give that mission to somebody else, because the story must go on. The curse must be broken. The demon must be slayed. So if you're not going to do it, God is going to put another man in place to do so. So don't be mad when you see that he won it. Because if you liked it, then you should have put a ring on it. And once this person put a ring on it, the world is going to change. And you're going to be left behind in your feelings and in regret because you were the original heir. You were the first person who had the opportunity to break this curse, to save this woman, to slay this demon. I told y'all, whoever wrote Shrek, they really into the Bible for real. They're really into the Bible because Shrek is very biblical. You have to slay the demon. You have to slay the demon to save the woman. But it has to be a man strong enough to do so. And I was telling that to my kids. I was like, Shrek, and they remind me of Adam and Eve. And I did a video about this a couple of months ago. About Shrek and Adam and Eve. Shrek and Fiona and Adam and Eve. But anyway, I said like once they ate the apple, once Eve ate the apple, they got kicked out of the Garden of Eden. You know how they tell the story. That they went their separate ways to learn life lessons and things like that. And then in order to bring the world and shit back together, they got to come back together in this lifetime. But you got to remember who you are. And, you know, let's just say they were separated for 30 years, right? Let's just say 30 years ago, Adam and Eve got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, right? And they had to go their separate ways. So, you know, it's 30 years now. I'm just running back into you. Hey, my name is Eve. What's your name? My name is Adam. I used to date somebody named Adam about 30 years ago. That's funny. But I'm here and I guess I see you next lifetime. They had one lifetime when they was in the Garden of Eden. The next lifetime is when they're outside of the Garden of Eden. No, they didn't die. They're just meeting over again. So it's considered and called a new lifetime. So in their past lives, they were in the Garden of Eden. In this lifetime, they in the real world. So she like, yeah, I used to date a guy named Adam or whatever. But we ended up breaking up split because I did something I wasn't supposed to. And it's not that I didn't love him or he didn't love me. But, you know, we just had to go our separate ways and learn some life lessons or whatever. And Adam like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. Like, I used to know somebody named Eve, too. You actually kind of remind me of her, lookalike, split. But they don't remember, like, you are the person I'm talking about. And you are the person that I'm talking about. You see, just like on Shrek Forever After. When Shrek signed the contract, I'm trying to tell you, when Shrek signed the contract on Shrek Forever After, he forgot who Fiona was. Fiona forgot who he was. She didn't know who her own husband was because he had signed the contract. Do you see what I'm saying? They had to come back together. The only way she could remember him was to fall in love with him over again and share true love's first kiss. Okay? So in this lifetime, that's why they say you never know the day, the time, the hour when Jesus will return. The Bible is history. History repeats itself. You have to know your role and which role you are playing from the characters of the Bible. That's why this world is just like a big TV screen. And the passed on loved ones and ancestors, God, the archangels, hell, and hell raisers, they all watching us. They're all watching us. They know who we are. You have to remember who you are. I guess I see you next lifetime. You have to see it next lifetime. You got to remember who you are. You have to, once you live in life, it's like reminiscing. You start remembering, like, oh, I remember this. I remember this. Yes, yes. Anyway, they started dating again as Adam and Eve 30 years later. Okay? But now they learned so much along the way as being individuals, living their own separate lives. So now that they've come together 30 years later and they're reminiscing and stuff and they finally share a kiss and have sex and things like that, now they're activated. Okay? Now you're on a different mission. The mission after you have come back together, kind of like the twin flame journey. And the whole thing is you have to fight for love. You have to fight for what belongs to you. Is that fair? No. But just like in Shrek, especially Shrek Forever After, the purpose was to keep Shrek and Fiona away from each other by any means necessary, even if it meant killing one of them or both of them. Same thing with Romeo and Juliet. Okay? So you have to be strong enough. You can't be weak. You can't let everything that everybody think and say and tell you be true. Because if that's the case, they said that Fiona, somebody as beautiful as Fiona, would never love an ogre. You get what I'm saying? Or somebody that's rich and got everything that they need can't fall in love with somebody that's poor. Or somebody that's the opposite race. Or different religious beliefs. You have to fight past all of that when you really love somebody. You kind of got to block out everybody else. That's understanding the assignment. Not to get distracted by everything else that's going on in the world. You have to focus on your life's mission. It's one couple that is supposed to come together that is going to change the fucking world. I keep channeling this message. But this man, it's the man's fault that these people won't come together because he's slow. He's letting everybody else in the world knock him off his assignment because he's too busy listening to everybody else. And that's why the Bible says, what is a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Stop listening to everything else that everybody else is saying and use your own fucking brain, your own discernment, your own hearts, your own feelings, your own emotions. What the fuck is you banking your life and love life off of somebody else's opinions for, even if it's your fucking mama? Somebody mama really fucked up a relationship that was so beautiful. But it's always one of the parents. Just like in Ruth and Boaz. Just like in Shrek. In a lot of movies. So I made the status last night. I said, I definitely know what it feels like to love somebody, but their mama can't stand me. But never even had a conversation with me. Never got the chance to know me. One of them mamas like, I raised my son up to be this way. He ain't about to marry no girl that got kids, just want to use him for all his money and and ruin the whole relationship. When it's the only one who actually ever loved your son. Everybody else that you praised is the one who took him for everything that he had. But it's his fault too, because you're listening to your mama, who got her a husband already. Lived her life. Probably been married 2 or 3 times. Got kids, different baby daddies and all that. You letting her tell you what to do. Granted, you respect your mother's opinions. But opinions are opinions and never facts. What is a man to gain the whole world to have everything that he wants except love, when God is love. That's what Shrek had to learn when he signed the contract. That's what Ruth was saying when she didn't want to sign the contract. Adam and Eve, the apple, is like a contract. Don't sign the contract. Don't be bamboozled. Don't sell your soul. Don't get tricked. Don't let other people convince you to do something that you know your heart is telling you not to do. And that's what Eve did. She let the snakes in the garden, the snakes in your camp, the sneaky ass family and friends, whispered up in her ear and told her what the fuck to do. Don't listen to God. Fuck what the fuck Adam talking about. Don't you want to be a free woman? Independent, have your own money, go out and do whatever you want to do? You don't need no man. Bite this apple. And she fucked everything up by signing the contract, starting a covenant with the devil. Be smart. Use your own brain. And that goes for anything. I say it all the time. Me and my kids was just talking about this. Speaking of rappers and music and the industry and stuff, what the fuck is you signing contracts for? Working for producers and all that type of shit when you're the one with the talent. When you're the one writing songs, it's your voice that people is paying for to hear. It's you that people paying to see in concerts. It's you who are the artist. They just invested in you. And you kind of didn't even need that. See, that's where they trick us. You need me. You need me. No, you need me. You had the money, but you can't do nothing with it. I have the talent. You need me. So you ain't never got to go sign no contract to sign over your rights and be a slave for somebody else. And that's what Ruth was saying in the movie Ruth and Boaz. That's what I've been saying for the last couple of years. Even my baby daddy, he wanted to be a rapper and stuff like that. And when we was teenagers, I used to be helping my baby daddy write raps and everything. Like, supportive of what he wanted to do. And my baby daddy is very talented. Granted, he be pissing me off and shit. He is talented. Handsome and everything. He could have been a very successful artist. But you don't never sign no contract. I used to always tell my baby daddy about the Illuminati and shit and never get into shit like that. You never sign contracts. You never let the outside world influence you to do shit. It will cost you your family, your money, your houses, your cars, and all the shit that they promised you. They take it away the moment you don't do what they say. And who the fuck are they to control your whole entire life? It's your life. Your life and the life that you have created and the bond that you have with God. The moment you sign the contract, they take God out of the picture. And you are nothing without God. The moment she bit the apple, she got out of the Garden of Eden. The moment you sign over some shit, they plot against you. But you got to have talent. That's why everybody don't go through the same thing. Some people are more talented than others. Not trying to be funny, because we are all talented people. You are all special in some way, shape, or form. But some people, royal bloodlines, and some people got certain missions. And those be the people that they want to hold back, that they target first. So, like, speaking of, me and my brother was outside talking. Kyra had came over for a split second yesterday. And we was having a decent conversation, and they was talking about some of the things that Trump is doing. Which brings me to why I said, y'all better start preparing for martial law and teaching our kids how to shoot and shit. Because these white motherfucking kids know how to blow a nigga head off. And black kids be shooting up the whole fucking house before they hit the fucking target. Because they be like, oh no, keep the guns away from the kids. Here in Michigan, 8 or 9 years old is when kids can start going to the gun range. You know why? Because these days and times right here, not to shoot each other, but to shoot the opposition, the people who consider us to be targets, which is why there's a such thing as martial law. And your kids, my kids, need to know how to blow a nigga head off too. Because they will kill you. But anyway, it's all part of the Bible though. It's Armageddon, the war between good and evil. This is how you get to heaven on earth. You gotta fight your way to what you want. That's what this whole video has been about. But we gotta come together and do it. United we stand, divided we fall. That's why as people, and it's not about skin color, it's about your mindset. All the people who believe in God and who are the Christ conscious, we have to come together. And we go against the people who don't believe in God. The people who want us stuck in contracts. The people who want us stuck in the matrix in slavery. Those are the oppositions. That's who we're battling. The government and shit. The presidents for our freedom. That's why I don't vote for them motherfuckers. And that's why I told y'all not to. But it didn't matter anyway. Because this is all God's plan. You just have to wake up to what the fuck you supposed to be doing. New World Order is trying to take place. Y'all can't be scared to battle. And battling is standing up for yourself. Standing up against the government. Standing up against the people who is trying to control you and won't let you be a free man. When God gave us the freedom of speech, free will. But the government and all that, that's the Antichrist. It's not one individual person. It's the system. The matrix is the Antichrist. That's who we're battling against. So one day y'all gonna see that I'm not crazy. And you're gonna see keep your kids at home. They already did a whole test run with the pandemic and COVID-19 to see they was mapping out how they gonna kill us. No, keep your kids at home. Teach your kids how to defend themselves. Don't be a pussy to the government and shit. Teach them what it is to really love, to really defend each other, to really battle. Because that's what we are preparing for. A battle between God's people and the Antichrist, the Matrix, the government. And once these two people come together and they start setting the examples how Adam and Eve was supposed to do in the first place, when these two people come together, it's going to be like Adam and Eve never had to get kicked out of the garden. Because they have learned their mission. They came back together now. And now they can be royalty on their throne. The real kings and queens. The real president. And everything else will fall into place. The empire will be paradise on earth again. But because the devil, the matrix, the government, the Antichrist is so much in control, because God is letting this happen, because he's trying to get his people to wake up. Because he's in so much control, he got his pawns keeping these people apart. The police, the school systems, parents, the naysayers, religion, all of that is what's keeping these people from coming together. That's why you have to be strong. You cannot let he said, she said destroy your relationship. And sometimes, that's why they say blood ain't thicker than water and shit. Sometimes the ones closest to you, your mama and shit, your daddy, that's the main op in your life. Because it don't matter that y'all came from the same person, the same blood and shit like that. They want to be a part of the matrix. So they're an op. Just like I was saying in the movie Roots. It's all about freedom. This black man was a slave who had worked for his emancipation papers. He came back to free his other fellow brothers and sisters and shit. And these was the same motherfuckers turning him into the white man. Because the white man was bribing him like, fuck what that nigga said. I already own you. I'm your master. That's a free man, but he worked for his freedom. However, tell me where he going, because I want to kill him. He's setting the other slaves free. I'm going to kill you too. unless you bring me him. And I'm going to give you whiskey, and instead of you sleeping outside and on the field, I'll make you a house nigga. And then you got weak-ass, pussy-ass slaves. Like, oh, he gonna give me liquor and I get to sleep in the house. Okay, master, I'll tell you how to get the rest of the slaves who running free. Nigga, what? Bitch, fuck master. You should have been jumping on the bandwagon with the slaves that already freed themselves. But no. That some people want to be weak. Some people want to be stuck in the matrix. Some people too scared to change. Those are the ops. The people who fall short to the matrix, to the government, to addictions. Those are the people who sold their soul. The moment you decided to trade on somebody who was trying to help you is the moment you sold your soul. It's like a contract. So that's what I was getting. I hope I broke that down good. And I'm about to share all the videos that I brought up. So that you guys can watch them yourselves just in case. My job here on earth is to wake people up. I crack codes fast as shit. I'm not holier than thou. I barely open the Bible. A physical Bible. When I want to know something or a Bible scripture or a verse or something, I look it up or open up a Bible app, get on Google or something. I rarely crack open the Bible. But I do my research. I have a strong connection to God. I've never been a sellout. I'm very loyal to the Most High. See, people think that godly people got to look a certain way. That you're supposed to go to church every Sunday and shit. Do you know that the church is within you? That's why Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and the congregation, they was out in the field. I be in the field like the children of the corn. They was outside in the field. It wasn't no big ass church building and shit like that. That is the matrix. Half these pastors is Freemasons. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. God is love. When two people who really love each other, who are meant to be together, when they really come together, that's why shit be so beautiful. And nothing comes easy. You had to work for it. But it ain't as hard as you think. I'm hearing it could all be so simple. But we rather make it hard. You think shit is so hard. Oh, I can't do this because they said this, they said that. But once you can solve a lot by using your own brain, your own discernment, your own judgment, your own feelings. You save yourself first, and then the people that's around you. It's just like consider yourself to be a tree branch. That's why we get rooted and grounded and shit. We just like the trees. You got to consider yourself to be a tree. Your feet grounded and rooted into the ground. When you believe in yourself, you're successful. You then start to grow your branches and your leaves, and then you can bear fruit and harvest. But the moment that you listening to everybody else and you not believing in yourself, it's like you letting the wind and everything take over you. They shaking all the leaves off your tree, all the fruit off your tree and everything because you letting everybody else swarm around in your head. So it's like strong ass wind knocking all the fruit and the leaves and the harvest off your tree when you listen to everybody else. But when you rooted and you grounded and you trust yourself, that's when you that's when shit grows. You see, you got to block out other people. You have to block out the snakes. And that's the people who gonna come into your life whispering. That's why the snake whispered into Eve's ear. They come in whispering. They're not coming in loud and proud with lies and shit because they know it's a lie. They say shit behind the scenes. Whispering in your ear, you know that girl ain't no good for you. You know you don't need to be doing that. Whole time that's what you're supposed to be doing. And that is the perfect woman for you. But that's why they whispering it and saying it behind the scenes. Because they know they can't say it in her face while y'all really together, because the proof is in the pudding. Anywho, if you like the thing, you should have put a ring on it. Don't be mad when you see that he want it. So, somebody is about to lose the woman of their dreams. All because they listening to the snakes in their garden. Don't make the same mistake as Eve. History repeats itself. What you gonna do? Go to the Garden of Eden, paradise on earth, with God and the rest of the good people and live happily ever after? Or you gonna let the snakes whisper all type of negativity up in your ear and shit, and then you miss the chance of a lifetime? Then you stuck in the matrix, in the Old Testament, miserable. The choice is yours, because you got the free will. And when you gonna understand the assignment or you're not. But just know that when you forfeit your assignment, the other person got to still keep on going. And God is just going to bless them with somebody else who's strong enough to understand and accept the assignment. Because at the end of the day, the job is going to get done. It was already written in the stars. This like a big race. The game of life and shit. So yeah. Somebody needs to be strong. Somebody needs to use their own discernment and intuition. Somebody got to be strong enough to be willing to put up the fight. And then knowing that the fight, it was worth it. You have to do it anyway. The fight for love is just like Armageddon 2. And again, in Shrek Forever After, when Shrek, he loved Fiona. So he sacrificed himself. Just like they said God gave his only begotten son, Shrek sacrificed himself. Like, well, set Fiona and all the other ogres free. You know, they set all the other ogres free. But they still kept Fiona chained up. And so Shrek still had to fight for him and Fiona's freedom. And guess what? They ended up winning a battle against the devil. The one who they sold to. And once they beat the devil, which was Rumpelstiltskin, who he signed the contract with, they set everybody else free who the devil had in bondage to. You see why they don't want these two people together? Because when these two people come together and Adam and Eve reunite in this lifetime, everybody who sold their soul to the devil will be set free as well. That's what the government don't want. We walking around with chains on our necks. Well, y'all is. Okay. Chains on your neck because you already sold your soul to the devil. It's just like the TV show Wicked City. With the witches and the witch coven from Georgia and shit that I say reminds me so much of my life. They had the club, Obsidian, where the handler, another person you signed your life over to, he had chains on all the strippers' necks and shit in the strip club. When they finally broke free, the ones who originally started, the witches, when they finally broke free, they set everybody else who was in the club chained up free as well. You see, they don't want these people to come together. This particular woman and man, who in this lifetime are really Adam and Eve, and they don't know it. They go, let's just say, my name is Aaliyah Kiera Williams. But let's just say in my past life, I was like, I always say, Jesus and Mary. Adam and Eve is one story told many ways. They don't want the people to come together because once they do, they're too fucking powerful and they set the world free. And that devil shit who keep people held in hostage, that shit don't work no more. So the main mission of the government, the Matrix, Satan, the Antichrist and everything is to tell people that stay away from these people. These two people don't deserve to be together. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. Think about it. They like to put our men in jail. Even they've given it to it like this. They bribing women with Section 8 and shit. But your nigga can't have no live with you if he got a felony or nothing like that. But then they throwing half the niggas in jails with felonies, automatically causing one-parent households. Then it comes child support. So now you got the nigga on child support and in jail, ain't in the kid's life whatsoever. The mama is a single mama on Section 8, stuck in the system, the matrix, the government, relying on welfare and all that type of shit when it ain't supposed to be like that at all. It's the Antichrist. It's the matrix. It's the government. That's who it is. So why in the fuck would you motherfuckers be voting for them when we're supposed to be free and have freedom and control over our own lives? Voting for motherfuckers and shit is signing contracts, giving them control over your fucking life. I don't need no president. We need God. And God ordains kings and queens and judges. That's how the world is ran by order. But y'all gonna see. And y'all gonna see just how crazy I am not. This shit, this life shit is spiritual. Not religious, but spiritual. And y'all gonna see one day just how much that church stuff is the matrix. Now, am I saying that there's no good pastors? No, that's not what I'm saying. Because some pastors have genuine hearts. And if they got a genuine heart, then they know that exactly what I'm saying is the fucking truth. I'm hearing it's all love. God is love. God is love. There's Shrek on Netflix right now. All 4 Shreks are on there. If you go watch them, it's just like reading the Bible. Then you got Ruth and Boaz. And I'm about to share that other story too. And I was talking about with Tobit and Tobias. And how Tobias was supposed to marry his cousin or something like that. History repeating itself. The Bible, the greatest story ever told. One story told many different ways. Different character names. They're going to keep repeating the story over and over and over and over and over again. Every lifetime. Until we all get this shit. This is why I keep telling the story. My life story. Over and over and over again. Until y'all get this shit. Because it's biblical. It's written in the stars. I am exactly who I said I am. And I meant to change the world by waking people up and setting my people free. And I'm going to set y'all free by telling you that this is not how it's supposed to be. So, anyway, somebody though, what is a man? To gain the whole world, but lose his soul. Don't let the woman in your life walk away and go into the hands of another man because you was too busy being a bitch, selling your soul to the devil by listening to everybody else. That's what fucked Adam and Eve up in the first place. But I love you guys. Have a great day. I'm hearing the time is ticking. The time is ticking. And that's so crazy because I really do care about somebody, a particular guy or whatever, but we're not in a relationship. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm tired of waiting on him to do what it is that he needs to do. Because at this point, it's not even based on me. But that's how the world will have it looking. It's not me. It's you. And now I'm tired of that. And I don't feel like waiting on you no more. The hourglass has started and the sand is falling. You better make the motherfucking move, because the minute that last grain of sand fall and it ain't no more left to fall, I am open to dating another person, because God send the next man in who's going to understand the assignment so we can get this shit done and I can live in peace, please. So yeah, anyway, y'all have a great day. I love you guys, and I'm about to share those videos. I know that message was all over the place, but I had to get it out. You have to stand up for what you believe in. Everything else got to get out the way. and you use your own discernment. No church, no tarot, no psychics, no nothing. You and God. And God will reveal to you everything that he needs to reveal to you. That's why the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. That's why I don't need tarot cards or nothing. People will deceive you by whispering in your ear like the snake. It's tarot readers who be like, eat the apple. Eat the apple, Eve. Eat the apple. But meanwhile, they taking your money, whispering lies into your ear. Pastors, eat the apple, Eve. Eat the apple, Eve. Preaching you lies. Because they're part of the matrix. Use your own discernment around this bitch, or you will get fucked up.